call the budget meeting to order, preliminary budget meeting to order. So Chelsea, I'm probably going to let you spearhead this one.
I did adjust some of these numbers from what I had sent you over the weekend. Just looking over it again after working on all day and looked at the same numbers, and then Larry and I discussed some of the things. Currently, our general is sitting at approximately 53 mils without any of the special airport, library, anything with that in there. Just our. And
Is 53 mils pretty average for us?
yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking,
Last year it was lower, but
well, last year was lower because of that money we
CARES
got
Act.
back from the CARES. I
Right.
think 56, 54, 56, I think is pretty average, if I remember correctly.
that's kind of what I've seen roughly.
Yeah.
I know that one year it was like almost, I think it was like 62, but that's the year that that special assessment deficiency was a part of that.
Right, well, yeah, that was, right.
Okay.
When I would just look back, yeah, prior years.
Yeah, I think the total that year was 83 or something, you know,
Was it
with
that
the
high?
deficiency on there. So I think it was 83. That was that one-time thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any numbers that, the general was pretty much done. I did include some wages and FICA in there with percentage increases approximately of what they could be at. I don't know if there's any numbers that you guys want to look at, changed.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? What pages are you on here right now?
Well, the general, so 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gonna be our revenue for our general fund.
Okay, so you're, actually, the first 5 pages we go.
That just tells you your, I mean, I don't know if you wanna discuss them. It's gonna essentially go through it one by one when we go through them anyway. It's just gonna tell you where your mills are sitting.
Right.
What did they say for the mills this year, roughly?
28, 58, 48, 29, right? I think it was 40.
One mill is worth $48.29.
Right.
48, 29, okay.
And that's an estimate. That
Yeah.
can change as soon as the county has all these back and gets their final numbers done.
So what you're saying is the projected revenue without, without property taxes and without the highway tax is about 363,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That includes the, you know, all the state aid and coal severance and all that stuff, so, and other fines and all that other stuff, so.
Yeah, those are all projections, so they're,
Where did you put the wages and stuff for coming up for next year? What page is that on? That you just said 20%, you said?
There'll be on the next, for the expenditure report.
Okay.
So this first page, this 1 through page 1 and 2, the front and back are all our revenues that we'll have coming in. The general property taxes is that number that gets filled out based on what we levy, so obviously that's going to blank for right now. I did increase the beer and liquor licenses a little bit from what I initially had, just because when you get special event permits, that's where they go into it as well. And we always have a couple of those every year. The building permits we had discussed the last time changed, so I put that to 3,000. Our intergovernmental revenue, that's all based on projections that the state puts out or Cole County put out.
How much are the increased or for the special liquor licenses when they have things and stuff outside? Do we charge them for that or not? Say they have a street dance out there, do we charge them?
Yeah, for a special event permit?
Right.
Yeah, they're like $10.
Oh, okay.
Not too much.
No.
No, okay, just curious.
And then our fines and our miscellaneous revenue, I did separate out this year for our capital credits, so we can track that, put that as its own line item. Hopefully our memorial building rent could continue to go up with that being used, which then, yeah, puts our revenue sitting at $363,700. Our expenditures have, this is just the general, so this is gonna be the board wages, the judge wages, the mayor's wages, the auditor's wages, and then non-departmental is a factor between, our deputy auditor, our janitor, and then a percentage of our public works gets paid out of there.
Okay, when you figured out wages for next year, you calculated 20% for each employee, or how did you figure that out?
Yes, I went through with all their numbers and.
But 20% for each employee? Okay.
20%?
Well,
Oh,
the
that's
max,
right.
the max,
Because you've got, well, I guess that includes,
cost of living and everything.
yeah, cost of living. Does that include insurance though? I mean, is that, well, you know, I just wonder why 20%? I mean, 20% seems like a lot. But is there, is like the, FICA and all that included in the 20%, or is that separate, or?
Well, I factored all those numbers as increasing as
Okay.
20%, because if the wages increase, those numbers are gonna go up, so I increased them all. And then insurance, I took 6 years based on what I know our contract is now, because we renew it in the middle of the year. And then I think I put on a 5% increase for insurance, because I don't know what our insurance rates are gonna be next year.
Right, right.
So that one's, but I
Okay.
put them to increase, because I know this year we got a reduction in it.
Right.
Next year, I'm guessing they're gonna go up some, but I just put a 5% increase for insurance.
Okay.
Right, we're probably gonna have some money left over for the wage area.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. And that would go back into the general fund then.
Right.
This is just the preliminary.
Preliminary,
You can go the
We
other
can
way.
go down, we can't
Right.
go up. I
Yeah,
get it,
so,
Absolutely. Yeah,
because we don't know what the cost of living is going to go to.
Page 3 of 4, under expenditures, there's a, on top, advertising and publishing and printing should be 3,000 instead of
300.
300. Right there, that should be 3,000.
Oh, okay.
And then underneath the fire department, I guess I did put in there that transfer out for that 10,000 if we're gonna continue to do that. Or keep that in there for their truck savings, because I looked at a prior year that was done, and that's how they just had it as a transfer out, and then it went into a different account for that to grow.
Right, yep, has to go into its own account, yep. And that's all it can be spent for, is equipment for the fire department.
We got $5,000 in there for the forestry board. Did we have an increase from last time on that?
No, we got 6,000, we got 3,000 for supplies and maintenance, and then 3,000 for tree removal. 6,000, you look at this figure over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it says 5,000 up here.
That's our current budget
That's
for
our current budget.
2021. We're
Okay.
under the prelim budget for 22.
Okay, okay.
You know, when we were talking about that highway fund, that, was it that $20,000 or whatever it was? Did you move that into the general? Remember when,
I reduced the one from 40,000 to 20,000 out
Okay.
of the highway fund for 201.
oh, yeah,
And then weren't we putting that 20,000 into, instead of, like, equipment, instead of repairs and maintenance, we were just putting it into equipment? So it's 20,000 and 40,000 instead of 40,000 and 20,000.
But you remember when, we talked about that this morning, the, what is it,
Can we wait till we get there?
yeah, we can. But I'm
Thank you.
assuming you put it in the general fund.
Yeah,
So, because we had to cut like, what was it, 40,000 out of there or something, remember?
from that 25,000 that we didn't,
Or whatever it
I don't know
was.
what it was.
Okay, we'll get there. Okay.
Yeah. You might have to look at yours. Because then you want it in this highways and streets repairs and maintenance, under the general fund, is that what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
for this 4310? Okay, no, it might need to be increased by that 25.
Yeah, okay, we'll think about that when we get there.
Yep.
So, yeah,
I'll just mark it so I know the numbers exactly to look at.
right, okay.
So we got miscellaneous expenses here this year at 272. And we don't have anything budgeted for next year. So what is miscellaneous expenses? 4309, or, 4909.
That's an account that we don't really use.
So that's
It's
defunct?
always carried over, so I'm trying to, go towards our miscellaneous accounts, because when we switched software programs, our account numbers were all changed to, some of them were, they changed a little bit to coincide with what the state has for account numbers, so
Should we take this out totally then, or just leave it sit there?
I have them in there just so I can see what went on before, because it's still all new.
Okay.
So if it's something in there that we need to use going forward, if we need to get rid of some of that stuff, we can delete those accounts, but as of right now, I don't want to
Okay.
until I know
Okay, just
that
asking,
they're out of
because,
there.
Something for reference right now.
Yeah, just to make
Okay.
sure nothing gets missed.
Okay. So then the grand total expenditure on the, general is we're looking at, what, 695,000?
Yeah. Which is high compared to where revenue's sitting.
And 363. So right now, we're sitting at about 232,000 difference for the general. What I'm, without our mill levy.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay?
more or less?
expenditures are more.
More.
Which is normal, because we don't have our mill levy in there yet.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Because that's what we allowed for to coincide that. I increased our highway tax distribution from 105 to 107, just based off numbers and their projections for next year for a 7% increase. Gives a couple thousand more dollars, maybe, hopefully. It'll go up more than that.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I'm gonna, if we want to keep that special assessment deficiency in there, we can roughly go up to $600-700.
Probably, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, now we're on the highway distribution, yeah, that's an expenditure, there was that 30,000 for unemployment compensation, that's the one you took out of there.
Oh, for those professional fees. Yes, I just took that out.
Professional fees, right, yeah, took
Because
that
that
out.
didn't need to be in there.
Right, yeah, okay, and then that took us down from 140 to 100.
Yeah. I'm guessing maybe that's supposed to be like 300. Do we want to keep anything in there for the highway, or just keep it all between?
I don't think I would say in there, I would say no.
We haven't really used it, so.
No, I would say
Okay.
no there. But really, the highway distribution, the expenditure should match the income on that one. Because that's kind of a special fund that we got. You know, so really we should think about 3,000 out of there and just move somewhere else, or take 3,000 out. Those should actually, they should match, and then, you know, just make it up in the general fund, what you do.
So we would take 3,000 out of there, put it in the general,
Somewhere.
and we could say for our wages or something, or
It could be
whatever.
draft or
Yeah, you know, whatever we need to make it.
Right.
Could we increase the other fund by $3,000?
No, because this is what we get from the state. From the highway fund. They give us this much money.
Okay.
Or could we put it in equipment or something like that? Or
Well, we could,
whatever we need to do.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, we pretty much dedicate that for all street work, or all of it for street work, okay? And, you know, we're getting 107, budgeting, or our expenses look like they're 110. They should be down to about 107, or very close.
So where are you gonna take the 3,000 out of then?
We could take it out of equipment, we could take it out of wherever, because we're just gonna make it up in the general fund.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
Because we just increased the equipment by 5 anyways.
Sorry?
Well, last year was 20,000, and this year we jacked it up to 25,
Oh, right, right.
right? So we
That's true.
should take it out of there.
We can just take that, like, say, what would be the difference, like 2270 or something?
22,300.
Well, see, we got 110, so if you want 107, so it'll be 3,300. So, just make it like 22.5 maybe. That'd be probably close enough, huh? That sound right?
Why don't we just take out of that operation and maintenance supplies?
We'll do
And
that.
all the other supplies can just be paid out of the general fund?
Yeah, that'd be good,
Where that 3,500 is?
yeah. So we'll just
Erase the whole thing.
take the whole line out, I'm guessing?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. That's very close.
And the 106.7.
Was it 106.7?
Because you take 3,500 out,
Right, right,
right?
right. That's not right, is it?
Oh, 69.
It's 106.9? Close enough to 107. Okay.
This back page where the special assessment deficiency, that 5,000 is the one that should go to 6,700.
Right.
Because that's the expense. Our revenue, we could up if we really wanted to what we could receive for, I guess, what's deficient. But that we could count on receiving for past taxes that will be paid in 2022.
Right.
A lot of them, I guess, you know, if they can pay them when they're forced into foreclosure, that's when a lot of them will come in. So I guess we could increase that 6,700 up a little bit if we wanted,
Let's see where we're at.
depending on,
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to say who's gonna, where it's at, so. And then our 300 accounts were our investment accounts. They're just small interest amounts that, I guess this one could go in here for, oh, that one we don't have. The MMDA savings, where I just put in their interest amounts
Mhm.
based off of where we're sitting this year to next year, because I don't see interest rates changing.
Right.
Our sales and use tax, our income coming in for that, our interest. And then for lodging tax, same with that, approximately where we're sitting now to what I can project for next year with our interest earnings in there.
Mhm.
Our upgrade account, water systems upgrade. And then we don't really have anything for expenditures out of them, they're just our interest accounts for the MMDA one.
Yep.
Sales and use tax, I put in the loader payment based off of Matt's amortization schedule that I received of what our payment will be for the year of 2022, coming out of our community development streets, and then roughly what would go to the economic development group for 2022.
Yep.
This capital project account, we really don't have, because we have no projects going on. Same with that Main Avenue Street and Storm Sewer. That project is complete.
Yep.
And this capital project one, nothing going on there with our, and then our capital project for our intake is ongoing.
Yeah, still working on that one.
And then these are our expenditures then for the following one, for then our storm sewer account. The fun one then is our revenue for all our special assessments. I have these taken off of what our book says, I guess, our amortization schedules of roughly what can come in or in our expenses. I don't have a number in there for our general property taxes. That's gonna come from there, so it's still looking like our expenses are not matching our revenue. Looks like we're gonna,
So we're a lot closer than we were
yeah,
by a ton. Yeah.
and that might take a year to get through.
Right, I think we also have to go through the, I think the 2016 one, I
16.
think there's an issue with that one.
Yep.
We're gonna try and go through that this winter. Get that figured out.
That'd be that 619 special, the one that 143,000. That one you're- I'm not sure, I don't know which ones these are. Cause that one there and,
The 6019,
yeah,
that one is all the one that was part of the rebond. 17, 18, 19,
Okay.
20, 21, 22 were all the ones that were part of that one we just rebonded last year. 60, 23, 24, 25 are gonna be the ones where I think those 2016 projects are the ones I believe that are
okay.
having some issues.
Right, yep, yep.
So those
We
are-
have one that's coming off after 2022, it's done with the 2007 Phoenix Grand Coulee one, so that'll be nice to have one of them on there.
So I'm wondering, we have a payment coming up, right?
Yes, payment will go in August, when we do bills.
So, does this reflect, these numbers reflect the refund, when we refinanced? Do these numbers reflect how much less we'll be paying on that one, do you know, or not? Or is this just projected, what was projected before the, refinancing?
Our payment that's going out,
Yeah,
yes, that has the new,
and this is based on that.
and these are based off of that new amortization
Okay.
schedule that I had received after we rebonded, because that's why our interest payment went down on some of these.
Mhm.
a lot
Yeah,
from last year to what this year, what we had in there for interest. That's the reason why.
Why do we have one for 2007 yet?
It's done after 2022.
22.
That's another one that we're dealing with. Our last payment is, 2022.
Mhm.
And then I do see, I don't have this miscellaneous revenue. Our CDs, I do not have a number projected for that. So I will get that in there for the revenue. I don't know how I missed that. Oh yes, because I have them as non-existent accounts on Black Mountain, and she is calling me back with getting those fit over.
Where's that at?
On page 202 for the revenue budget for certificate deposit 509, right for our expenditures.
Oh, 4.
Yeah. So I'll put in roughly 5,000 for that one, and then the other ones are little.
I'm missing it somewhere.
Page up directly before your expenditure report for special
Back to
assessment.
the specials.
You know what? Maybe that was on the left side.
Yep,
Yep.
back side of the specials.
Oh, already budget report there.
No, I can't print double sided.
You see some things on one side.
I know, I don't know why it was printed that way, but it must be internally in that report system, so I need them to fix it too.
Okay,
Because some of these are nice, so.
yeah.
So I'll put those in there. Once I get that fixed.
Okay.
Any questions? Anything different for specials? I'm sure you guys don't.
Mhm.
Okay, for our water, for our revenue, I put 47,000 in there for McLean Sheridan.
Oh,
I put that account in there this year just so that we could track the income we received from the membranes. That's the 20% that we received from them. So I put that line item in there. I don't think we necessarily need to budget theirs different for water because it's all gonna come in, I think, I would have to make a journal entry every month or at the end of the year to go for theirs if we want to do it that way, or I can just keep that 47,000 a part of the 450,000 estimated for water charges. It's never been broken down from my understanding,
Yeah,
but if we want it that way, it's something we can do.
I think what's best for you, as long as you know where it's at, I mean, you keep track of it, so.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nothing really, it's water usage that they're getting anyway. It's not technically an intergovernmental revenue because it's not money coming from them for something, it's water usage, so
Right. Yeah. that
I
makes
think
sense.
we'll just keep it in with our water charges.
As long as you can find it.
So, the 450 and the 47, the 47's would be part of the 450, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I never deducted that 47 out when I put it in that line. So I wouldn't really necessarily have to adjust it. I could if we wanted to go up.
So do we need to take the 47 off the 468 then? That's the group? that's-
Correct.
So then we'd be at, 421?
Yes.
Okay, and then at the let's see, once. But at the bottom we've got 515,
Oh, no, that would, the 447 would come up at 515. That 468 is all those charges. That 515 is including that 468 too, plus the 47.
Oh, so it comes off the
It would come off the 515.
Oh, okay, sorry, okay.
What would Dick, what would be the final thing on that then?
468 too.
Same as the one above?
468 too, yeah, it would be.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, imagine that. Okay. Okay.
And we don't charge late fees. And seasonal hookups, depending on, yeah, how many snowbirds we have. That's that.
Mhm.
Our sewer, shows up for our sewer emergency, sewer operations, we don't charge late fees for that either. Our commercial sewer is, I can run a report to see what commercial sewer is and what residential sewer is, but it's all one line item going into the same, that's why there's not a budgeted amount there. I can run a report, if you would want a sewer to be separate, I can make a journal entry every month at the end of the year to show commercial as well.
But it's included in the sewer operations. budget.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's, we look at it being different, so it's still the and then the commercial sewer does have a usage rate charge if they go over.
Right.
Residential doesn't for sewer, so.
Mhm. Okay.
In garbage, I looked at that a little bit, so I increased that revenue from the last time, 225,550.
And that's on the contract, right? All right, I can't remember what you said earlier today. Oh.
Yeah, that's just based off of where we're at sitting right now, and double it for the end of the year is approximately what we're gonna make then for that.
Oh,
And
the-
our
oh, revenue,
rates
right,
won't
yeah,
change
revenue,
because
right, yeah, okay, got it.
our contract for years 3, 4, and 5, our garbage can is $16.55, and second tote is $5.05, being charged to us from Circle. And that, right now, is in our contract for years 3, 4, and 5, so that's not gonna change.
Okay.
Where years 1, 2, and 3, they can change.
Okay.
So that's where I got that number from.
Okay.
Expenses,
So, our water expenses are looking at 484, and our water income is looking at 468.
and I don't know why.
I don't know why either, I mean, there, it should be, we should be making money on water.
We should be.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what's going on here. Damn chemicals.
What's the debt principal?
Now, group insurance went up.
That's a
Well,
water bond that we have. We have, 2 of those that are specifically water, so I could put into that one.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking,
but the repair and maintenance for 2021 is way high.
our,
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, but we only have it budgeted for 25 for,
Yeah, and there's 60,000.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I see what you're saying.
so, and before it was with 261, you know, but that was membranes,
Right.
so.
So there's no membrane in this here then?
yes, we had a 20% of the last remaining part of the membranes that had to get paid this
Okay,
year.
So that's part of that 60,000?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But if we're sitting, for revenue, back to water, we're sitting at 306 right now for water charges coming in. We could almost probably increase our revenue for that, because that, if we're already at 306 for halfway through the year,
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
that 450 is low.
I think you're right, I think that is pretty low. Just kind of looking at difference between these expenses. So, I'm not really sure here, oh, we didn't have a debt principal last year? That's where our big difference is here.
It's probably gonna be our August payment that's coming out.
I mean, it's just, there's no budget for it in, from last year.
Oh, yeah. And that's, yeah, our August, well, that's part of the one that goes out in August, which has our big amount in it, our principal amount
Right.
for those two that are water and sewer that are broken down.
How much could we increase the water to balance the budget then?
Well, I would think we could go. It all depends on what kind of year you're gonna have. If you got a really wet year, water usage goes way down. It's been a dry year, so our water usage is up.
Yep.
I mean, we could go at least to 500, I'm sure, or maybe even 525, but I'd be leery to go any higher than that, Colin, what do you think on that?
We're in August. Might have another month left of good watering, maybe. I didn't see that taper off, so I
Yeah,
don't
by
know.
then, after August, they don't really,
Huh?
I said by after August,
Right.
they kinda give up on their lawn.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
I would expect a lot of
So
people to give
what
up
is
by
our
now,
rate
but-
now? What is our rate now
45,
for minimum,
2,000 gallons,
2,000 gallons per month?
correct.
This might be stupid, but, you look at this debt principal, shouldn't it be going down rather than going up?
No, some of them go up.
They go up.
Mhm.
Yours is going down, but the principal's going up. Interesting.
Next year?
Is our water rate high?
Yeah, every 2 years,
Compared to other cities or not?
the principal goes up like 5,000,
I don't know.
and we're done. And I think we
I don't
have,
think we're high.
But why,
we're in the middle.
Right.
There's a lot of places that complain about, or people that complain about our water rates, and compared to other people, we're low, other people were high, and I think we're kind of right in the middle.
Try bumping that to 500.
Okay. Let's do that.
Question. But we got another big expenditure here too, next year's chemical supplies. So that's taking us up as well, to another 35,000. Correct? Because it's going up to 60, right?
Somebody had a question? Yes?
Under water usage, do we know what we're going through the water treatment compared to what the public is using to see if we're losing something somewhere?
We have records on everything, yeah.
So everything's matching up, that's, just.
Nothing ever matches up because it uses a lot of water to treat water.
Right, yeah, you're
So-
gonna dump someone,
Yeah.
There's no big losses that we're losing, if that's what you're asking.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
just by flushing and all that stuff, we're gonna lose a.
Well, yeah, but I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there's,
You know, just
Yeah.
We're talking about like a break, we don't know about that.
Right.
Draining water.
Yep.
Like, once it gets to the water tower, then.
a lot of times you can have a broken main, that if it's in a gravel vein, it may run for years and not surface.
That's right.
Right.
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep, yep.
But we're not seeing any of that.
No.
So anyway, this takes our revenue up to 518 when our expenses are 484. So, it's preliminary.
And I guess we can see where we're sitting too, and, I mean, we can't change the budget, but if it's looking, we're going in the red, we can all, I
Right.
mean, in December, talk about increasing water rates in
Right.
January.
Yep, exactly.
Water and sewer, that's when we do that, is December.
Well, it's nice to do a little bit before then, because you have to.
I mean, that's usually when we do it.
Or do, yeah, November. or
Well,
something.
Yeah,
Usually-
same years, I think it was like November, because then
Right.
the notices are however it's supposed to.
Takes effect first of the year, so
Yeah.
you just gotta have.
But we should look at
everything done.
all of them at that time, to see where,
Well, and that's kind of why we do budgeting, to see where we're at, and then, you know, because it used to be, you know, budgets were doing, you know, October, but now they're doing August, so, yeah, it makes it a little harder. Okay? So I think we're good on that part.
Okay.
The sewer, we're at, projected revenue 161, okay, the projected expense is the 169,896, not the 189,896.
Yeah, we're taking that 20,000
That
out.
20,000 on the bottom goes away because that's actually underwater, somehow the computer put it in there, so,
That one's gone?
yeah, that one's gone.
So that's almost looking,
Which one?
That goes back down
yeah,
to
that one.
169.
So, what is our,
Like $9,000 difference. And I mean, our wages and probably overtime is projected high too for these.
I'm sorry, what is what?
Our wages and overtime are probably more projected on the higher end as well.
Yeah. So, we're looking at 161 for sewer, and then we're looking at 169. I'm really thinking that, that's not terrible because you said, like you said, the wages might be high, plus we have money in the sewer account, and we have fairly good money in there.
Yes,
So I'm not really concerned about being a couple $1,000s off.
okay.
What does everybody else think on that?
I agree.
Mr. Water Commissioner?
Oh, I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm just making sure I'm not missing nothing.
I mean, we must have, what, 600,000 in there or something, or?
Yeah. And our water, I mean, is sitting pretty good too, but I don't want to
Water isn't there as good as that.
take advantage of that, yeah.
We don't wanna go backwards either.
No.
No.
You know.
Have to make it up for it and,
Yep.
But we're only looking at, you know, what, a couple thousand, like $8,000 or something.
Yeah.
what do we have in the water?
like 400.
Yeah.
And we took out membrane, so that, you know, made it right.
That didn't come out of there.
That didn't come out of there, okay.
No, that come in out of,
Project fund or something?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, we also added in 40,000 in machinery and equipment too this year, right?
Yes.
Oh, right,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah,
got
yeah.
that, we were talking about the grinder issue
Yeah.
and so that.
Right, yeah, good point.
And we also added some money for, account for, build up for new membranes 8, 9 years from now too, correct?
In the water.
In
yes.
the water,
Just
not
In the water.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He was talking sewer here.
Yes,
not
sewer,
water,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we're good there.
I think we're okay. Okay, good. And garbage, so basically, income, looks like we're not gonna make any money on it, but, and we should be making a little bit of money on that, because don't we charge like a 50 cents extra or something, or whatever it is? or-
Yes, but all those extra expenditures are out of this. So in December, we had an additional $11.85 for our contract amounts for compost that went out, which was our December bill that we paid out of January. In January, we had a compost tank of $7.90 charged, or for our ash dumpster, or that was just a compost tank that they needed for that one. Our ash dumpsters was $790 in April, plus $900 for the landfill fee. May cleanup for our roll-offs, we had, our contract states that we get 3 for spring and 3 for fall every year.
Right.
We used 7 roll-offs for spring.
Wow.
If we want to negotiate that where we can use all 6 of them in the spring and just pay for them in the fall, Trina with Circle said that they could probably do that if we want to do that, but we use 7. So our entire landfill fee was $1,000. Our additional roll-offs was $1,580 plus $200 in landfill. So that all added up to like roughly an extra, $2,000 to $3,000 coming off of
Oh, yeah.
out of our garbage, so.
So, out of those roll-ups that we used, all the appliances and stuff went in that stuff too?
Mhm.
Like refrigerators, stoves, and that kind of crap?
Yes.
So that's an area that builds up, takes up space in the dumpster then?
Right, because we had to get an additional, like, 2 extra ones for appliances.
Okay.
And there, yeah, we got, and I know we got a lot of them from, the hardware store, but,
Scott's, yeah.
but they are the ones sold in town. Where, people from town can bring it down or whatever. So
Right.
now it's stipulated, and they have to go town. And they sell a lot of them,
Yeah, 5 of mine went in there last year.
yeah, so.
And the free I'm charged was, I think, $14 for that, so that was minimal in grand scheme of things.
For each one?
No total for what was left in there for what I had to take out of Freon, that was just $40. So I didn't include it on here because it's minimal compared to the extra charges that we have to pay, so.
Okay.
Right now we're sitting at 16 grass dumpsters we've used for the year. We have 2 ash ones and we use 7 total for cleanup, so
We're basically, and we have what, 26?
a year. We get 10 more that we can use throughout the year.
All right.
Otherwise we'll have to pay for additional ones as well.
That
Grass,
stuff isn't cheap.
grass and branches, no,
What's an extra roll-up? It's like,
$385.
I'll just say $400 somewhere around there, but yeah, I mean, that's up fast.
Yeah. And then the landfill.
No, we
Fee
should
is-
compost the grass would be nice.
We just bought,
Right, but I mean, that would save us a bunch.
I tried to do this one, but the guy wouldn't sell. I'll try him again next year. Okay, we might have to raise garbage a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, just for the convenience of having a roll-off and stuff. Can we put that as a separate charge on there, on bill, or no? When you send out the deals saying, you pay this much for water, this much for sewer, this much for garbage, can we say this much for city cleanup or whatever, so people know why they're getting charged extra? I don't.
Yeah, you can put it as a different line item, but I would probably not do that.
I'd leery,
Just do it as garbage, because then some people are gonna say, well, I don't put anything together for cleanup, I'm not paying for this.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then I can't bring this, so it doesn't, I can just see it kinda going
Okay.
either way.
Right.
I did have a question about, some of the spring and fall cleanups. I've had people ask me about pallets. They don't take pallets in those things, do they?
No, but that's a whole different,
Right, but that goes into the cleanup thing, doesn't it?
That should be all construction stuff.
that should be construction stuff.
Should be.
right, Yeah, they should take care of that themselves,
Okay, just curious.
yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna have way more
Yeah,
problems.
but we're doing budget here now, so. We can only do budget. It's
I know,
special
but,
meeting.
I know, but not.
But that, okay, we got one question, okay, there you
That's all I want.
go. Okay.
I won't hear another word from you.
No, I wanna hear more from you about budget. So everybody got any other comments on any of this?
I have a question, roll-offs, what are those?
They're the roll-offs where we dump the grass in, back here.
The big dumpsters.
Oh, big dumpsters.
Big roll-off dumpsters, they come and they pick them up and haul them away up to the landfill.
I have a question, Larry,
Yes?
about the roll-offs. Is there any chance you could, when you bid out the garbage waste, have that as, can you bargain with them and talk to them about, this is what the city would like, to maybe get a couple more roll-offs? Set your,
Well,
you know what I mean?
we've,
Because I know they give us.
this
so
is the
many.
agreement that we agreed to,
Right.
so,
But I'm
you know.
saying-
So until 2023, this is what it is.
Right.
Because that's what our contract is. But yes, it is something that could be factored into agreement, or
Right.
we're going through them, that we want 30 in this contract, or, you know,
Yeah.
but,
I mean, I
for,
think
yeah,
it's- I think-
2023.
Sure.
I think what we're getting is
I
pretty
just
generous.
wanted to-
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just, it's signed through 2023 for right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Just that there was more this year than normal.
Right.
You know, people are using it, and I like that better than.
I don't know if it's more than normal, but, because we use a lot of them every year. Just cleanup, we, is probably more than normal, but regular grass dumpsters, we use that many every year plus.
Yeah, because I think we had to pay for an additional 2 last year.
Was that all? Okay.
I think, maybe it was more than that, I don't think we went over by a lot, but I know we did go over.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I tried asking if our ash dumpsters could go into our
Right,
compost ones too, but they're separate and different, so they couldn't, because then I'm like, we'll pay for them at the end of the year
right.
if we need to then, but their ash ones are different, so we couldn't include them in there, just so that we were getting our share of using our contracted ones.
Right. Okay, so we need to figure out what do we want to do as far as our levy,
For what?
our levy, tax levy. Going through a lot of this. My suggestion, it's just a suggestion now, it's, we go for the general fund, 56 mils. That would take us up to about 270,000. Then you got 4 for the library, 4 for the airport, and then efficiency would take us up to about 65 mils, which would be roughly 65 mils. So it'd be $313,885. So basically the city would be 270. Last year we were at 221. If you remember last year we took that 67,000 off that we got back. That's my thoughts anyway.
56 plus 4 for the library plus
4 for the airport.
4 for the airport.
Efficiency is about 1.
Be 6. About 66 mils, you said?
65.
65, 66?
Mills were at 48.29.
I think we budgeted high, I think, the way it looked,
Right.
so.
So if you add 270. About 633.7, and then I think we were at, our expenses were. $695, $633, so I think our expenses are high, yeah. a little short of the expenses on the general, but, you know, but I think some of that's kind of high. Wait a minute, that's not right. Oops. Oh, if I could add. I don't know, thoughts? And this is for thinking now. We can still talk about this. We don't have to have it until Monday, or next Monday.
We'll have to approve it next Monday.
Right.
What?
We'll have to approve it on Monday, because that has to be to the county on Tuesday.
But that's my thought.
Is that, what does it come out to when you multiply this times 48.29?
55 mils was 270.42. But then, you know, we're talking 66 total, but I was just looking at our budget, or
Oh.
our deal. Not the library and not the airport.
Right, the 56 for the general would be roughly 270,000, and then if you take 65, for all of them, it's 313,885.
Yeah.
And that's an increase from last year, or this year?
Well, last
40,000.
year,
Because we took that 67 out.
Correct.
Yep.
And as I adjust some of these numbers to fix it, I can just send out another copy for you guys to look at it.
And last year, we cut out a lot of machinery upgrades and stuff like that to make the budget a little bit,
So,
we're roughly 49,000 more than last year.
So,
But last year, we took 67.
we took a lot out of the budget to make it look better because of the year before.
okay, comparing apples and oranges, what would you say per household rough increase would be on property tax?
You know, everything's valued different.
I know,
have
but
no idea.
just take a general, you know, 100, 200,
How
300,
much did yours go down last year?
didn't it, went up?
Well,
Maybe because
that's
of
on the
everybody
city
else.
part.
On the city part.
Yeah, see, that's just it. I don't have those figures, because I actually, had figures over the last year.
The year before, we had a hell of an increase
Yes.
because of that deficiency.
Right.
Then we got, last year then, we lowered it to just to offset, because that's what we told them we were gonna do, you know, it's
Yeah.
unfair that we do that.
Right, because that one year was 83 mils, and then now, this last year, we dropped it down to 46.
Yep.
You know, which is almost half. Not quite, but, and then, you know, taking us up to 56 would put us about where we have been for, I think, if I remember correctly, for, you know, quite a few years. And it seems like we've been running fairly decent at that level. I mean, you know, we're limited at 105 mils.
Right.
You know, definitely aren't going there.
Well, and the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because we don't want to be on a roller coaster ride with the mills going up and down.
Right, right.
But we're not-
We want to try to level out some, at some point in time.
But the last couple of years, we're not even on a roller coaster with that deficit that we had.
Right.
But if we can refinance again this year, that'll help us, I believe,
Oh, yeah.
again, to help us next year. But we gotta get through this year first.
So what did you say the mill you were thinking about? 56?
56. 56. And that gives us about 207,000. Yeah, I'm just round figures here.
yeah, that's all I want, I don't want, she can do the exact figures. She's got it all in her head.
And we get mud.
What?
Nothing. Mud.
So we get 4% for the library?
4 mils.
4 mills and 4 to the airport.
Right.
But that's just pass-through, basically.
And then a deficiency.
Right, so we're actually running about 48 then, correct?
Oh, our general's gonna be 56. We're gonna go
General
up to 63 because we're gonna include
Okay.
other ones.
Okay.
65, yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Thanks for explaining that, I was a little lost.
Well, think about it, we got some day, so,
I
you
think
know,
it's fair.
go through all this
Go
and then,
through and read.
read up, check figures and on Monday we'll do the final
Can
budget.
she send out another upgraded version of this? Some of the changes we made in here?
I'll send it an email. I'll PDF it and send it an email.
Okay. I don't need it. I got it. But if you need it, that's fine. All right, anything else?
Chelsea, you said general's 56 and what is 63?
Total,
Total,
it'll be
65.
65,
65.
but that's not set in stone.
Yeah, none of this stuff. Anything else? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.